So there's a lot to talk about right now. As you all know, Nintendo just dropped the bomb and told us the release date of Splatoon 3, which is officially September 9th, 2022. Which I looked up is technically still during the summer, but not summer vacation for most people. So to be honest, I can't say I'm not disappointed, as during this time school begins for me, but it's better than a delay at least. So it definitely seems like the release date has gotten mixed feelings from people. Anyways, there's a lot of cool things I noticed in this trailer, which you might not have noticed the first time watching it. So I'm going to take this section of the video to go in depth on all of the cool new things I managed to see in this trailer. And then at the end, I'll give my thoughts on what I think about the release date and the importance of this preview and all that good stuff. So buckle in and enjoy. So right off the bat, we noticed two really important things. We first noticed that each name has a little code in the bottom left associated with it, which is definitely a friend code system that's built in game. I think this is going to be a cool new feature. I think it's going to add a messaging system, maybe visiting other players, sharing builds, and stuff like that, which is just going to be more practical than the system the Switch already has. So it's very exciting to see. And then secondly, we noticed in the top left corner a little replay icon. And you know what that means? It's a replay mode. I think we're finally getting a replay mode now. I don't think it's just going to be a dev feature for this trailer. I think we're going to be able to spectate our matches, flip through each player just like we see in the trailer, and all that good stuff. So that's two really exciting things right before the match even starts. There also seems to be some kind of banner / name card system. We can see each person in the team has their own kind of color and pattern. So maybe for getting a certain amount of coins, you can buy certain patterns you want, or maybe there's a different type of currency, who knows. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see as well. And we can also see that we're on the same map as the map that was in the Return of the Mammalians trailer, and the name of the map is called Ill Tail Alley, which is pretty cool. As you can see, we get this animation for loading into the map. We're on these coffee machines and stuff. And then we kind of choose where we want to launch. Not too far, of course, because that would be OP. But yeah, we get our own little spot we can launch to. And then we get a good look at this new UI, which I kind of am not too much of a fan of, but it might take a bit to get used to. There's like the special gauge, which is like in little lines and stuff. The sub is kind of minimalistic style, the weapons as well. So yeah, they're definitely going with a kind of new style here. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to see. Right here, once it switches to this player, we notice a new kind of point sensor feature where it doesn't launch across the map, but it kind of just like zapped to the nearest person, it seems like. It's pretty interesting. I'm a little confused whether this is point sensor or something else, but I'm pretty convinced this is a new revamped type point sensor thing. So then right after, we get a look at the Trizuka, which of course has 3 shots. And these shots kind of spin in a propeller motion. They do get a good amount of ink when they shoot. This guy gets 2 kills. Yeah, it's pretty impressive looking. I think it's going to be a solid special. It's a shame it's only 3 shots, but I think it's pretty good nonetheless. So then we see this bubble type move. It seems like later in the trailer, when you hit the top of the bubble starts to shrink. And so that's, I think, its weak point. And the person in the bubble can also shoot out of the bubble, of course. So yeah, it's a pretty good looking special. And so then we get a glimpse of this vacuum looking special. I didn't even pay attention to it in the other trailers, if it was even there at all, but it's really interesting looking. So it sucks up all the shots from the enemies while also building up this charge, which at the end you see kind of zaps to the person who sent the most shots or something like that, with a big explosion that follows up, which looks pretty powerful, I'm not gonna lie. You might be able to like turn around and get them, but yeah, I think you might want to avoid shooting at this thing for sure. So then right after, we get a look at the bow, and the bow seems to have explosive arrows. The arrows land on the ink, and then right after have a little explosion. It doesn't seem to do much damage, but it's definitely separating it from the chargers, which is really interesting to see for sure. And then we see this guy using Zipcaster, zipping around the map and killing people. Pretty much what we saw in the other trailer. We just get a better glimpse at it. It kind of leaves a bit of ink on its way, and it seems pretty good. It seems pretty solid, and then it lands back to its spot just like Inkjet and all that good stuff. So then we get a good look at the crab special as well. It has a really solid range. As you can see, it takes out that person from all the way there. It has like these little explosher type balls it shoots as well, which seem really effective. You can kind of roll and be in cover, for like a little bit as well. And then it doesn't last too long, and then right after you just stay in the position where you are. So yeah, it seems pretty cool as well. So then we see the killer whale type move. It kind of like follows the player during startup, and then it tracks the player it hits once it's in its range. It's not like a big radius like from Splatoon 1. It seems pretty solid, it seems alright. And then after, we see the ink strike is back, but this time it works with like 3 bombs, where you throw the bomb just determines where the strike is instead of using the gamepad like Splatoon 1. So yeah, this seems like a pretty strong special, I'm not gonna lie. The strikes do seem a bit smaller than Splatoon 1, but yeah, it makes sense since there's now 3. So yeah, it's very cool to see. And so right after, we also see the little squid dodges. I don't know what they're called either, but yeah, it looks like a pretty cool movement tool similar to dodge rolls from dualies. So yeah, it's exciting to see as well. So then at the end, we see the 2 Judds. They kind of have like this weird blow-dried hair. Little Judd is kind of tanned, which is pretty funny. And then we see they do their animations, all that good stuff. And then we see that they add in medals. So these medals have titles on them, and I guess they correspond to whatever you got the most kills, the least kills, stuff like that. And then we can also see the new Inkling clothing. They have cool clothes, stuff like that. I think the medals could also give reward bonuses. Maybe they give you more XP, more clothing XP, stuff like that would be awesome. And then at the end, we get the release date. And so for this part, I'm just going to show you all of the kits we saw for each weapon in this trailer. I'm not going to go over them too much, but you can kind of see that some of them keep their similar kits from the previous game. Some of them are slightly different. Some of them have the new stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to leave these on screen. You can pause and look and just analyze these yourself. So yeah, in my opinion, this was an extremely interesting trailer. We got to see a lot of new features like the replays, codes, witnessing all the specials and stuff like that. So yeah, it makes me imagine that once we get a Splatoon 3 Direct, we're going to get a lot of cool new features and stuff. And then at some point, we're also going to get the test fire, maybe a Splatfest test fire, where we're going to be able to test all of this stuff out ourselves. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to look forward to, and I'll of course be here to document it to you all. I'm sorry I couldn't really go in depth on the kits and the weapons. That's kind of like a meta type thing, and I really don't know what to say about them. They look interesting, so I'll just leave it up to you guys, really. Don't forget to also leave comments if there was anything I missed, or any thoughts you have about the release date or other stuff. Anyways, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Check out my socials in the description. And yeah, it's been Afu. Have an amazing day.